श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रम् धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् यतीन्द्रप्रवणम् वन्दे रम्यजामातरम् मुनिम् लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भाम् नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् यो नित्यम् अच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणम् प्रपद्ये लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य सूनवे संसारभोगिसन्दष्टजीवजीवातवे नमः।
श्रीशैलेशदयापात्रम् धीभक्त्यादिगुणार्णवम् यतीन्द्रप्रवणम् वन्दे रम्यजामातरम् मुनिम् यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणम् प्रपद्ये लोकाचार्याय गुरवे कृष्णपादस्य सूनवे संसारभोगिसन्दष्टजीवजीवातवे नमः। We are studying the Sutra number 97. Avayavana Jnanananda Marattvadihanam Jnanashaktyaadihanam Vatsalya Saushilyaadihanam Tiruneniyam Kanti Saukumariyadihanam Divya Bhushananganam Divyayudhanganam Diripanatyaartudakkamana Natyamarhanam Nityasuryanam Chakrachamaraadihanam Tiruvashankakkum Mudalihanam Ganadiparam Muktaram Paramakashamam Prakritiyam Baddhatmakadam Kalamam Mahadadi Vikaranganam Mandangadam Mandattikul Patta Devadipararthanganam Ayanaminade Ivattikashyaminna Padi. So, the exposition of the word Narayana, Naranam Ayanam. So, what is Ra? Ra means that which is perishable. Nara, that which is not perishable. Na means the opposite of Ra, that which is not perishable. Nara is those that are related to the unperishable objects. So that is known as Nara. And Swami Pillai gives a big list of entities that are referred to by the word Nara. So we have completed the list until Divya Bhushanangal, that is the divine ornaments that adorn the Divya Mangala Vigraha or the Sri Vigraha of the Supreme Lord, that is the divine form of the Supreme Lord. Next, Divya Yudhangalam. Divya Yudhangalavana Alahukkum Ashrita Virodhi Nirasanattukkum Udalayirandulla Shankachakra Gadasisharangadya Sankhya Yudha Visheshangal. So he says there are two important aspects as far as Divya Yudhas are concerned. Which are they? Alahukkum Ashrita Virodhi Nirasanattukkum Udalayirandulla Shankachakra Gadasisharangadya Sankhya Yudha Visheshangal. I don't know whether you are familiar with a stotra called Panchayutha Stotra. It's a very beautiful stotra which actually mentions about the 5 divine what is the word for Ayudha? Weapon. Yeah, weapon. Weapons of the Supreme Lord. So they are Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Asi and Sharanga. Sharanga is the name of the bow that the Supreme Lord Narayana has. Then Shankachakra Gada Asi. Gada is Kaumodaki Gada. The mace of the Lord is known as Kaumodaki. And Kaumodaki Gada Khadgo Anandakaha. The sword is known as Nandaka. And of course, Shankha and Chakra is Sudarshana Chakra and Panchajanya. Shankha is Panchajanya, that is, the conch is known as Panchajanya, very famous. And also, Shankha is Chakra is known as Sudarshana Chakra. Once again, that all these have great significance according to Yoga Shastra, according to Sri Vaishnava philosophy, according to Agama philosophy, and also according to Yoga Shastra. Why Sudarshana? Why Panchajanya? All these things have great significance. They are mentioned to a particular extent in the Agama Shastras and Yoga Shastra also. And you have independent stotras or propitiatory verses or groups of verses dedicated to these, especially Sudarshana. So you have Sudarshana Shataka authored by Kuranarayana Jiyar, who was the arrayer of Srirangam, who lived, who was almost, I think, a junior contemporary of Swami Parashara Bhatta. So he has authored a very beautiful, wonderful. You can have all the, you can all the good adjectives can be used to describe it. It is known as Sudarshana Shataka and very beautiful. Yasmin Yasya Bharam Vijayini Jagatam Jangamasthavananam Lakshmi Narayanakyam Mithunam Anubhavatyapyudaran Viharan Arogyam Bhutimaya Kritamiha Bahunaya Dyadasthapanam Baha Tattat Sadyas Savastam Dishatu Sapurusho Divyahetyakshavati. Very, very beautiful Sudarshana Shataka of Kuranarayana Jiyar. It is dedicated entirely to the Sudarshana Bhagavan, who is glorified as a personification of the weapon called Sudarshana. So he himself is, though he is the weapon of the Supreme Lord, he is personified as a Devata and he has innumerable weapons in his hands. So wherever you go in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or in many other places, especially South India, you have Ashtabhuja Sudarshana, Shodashabhuja Sudarshana. It is a Sudarshana having 8 arms, 16, 32, 64, and even 108. That's what I understand from some place. Having all different weapons. And each of them have significance, which we are not able to understand. I think it would be a good research topic for a PhD thesis, where all the different weapons are named and then their significance is mentioned, etc. That will be a very good topic actually if somebody is really interested to do some research. So these Divyayudhas are the divine weapons of the Supreme Lord serve a twofold purpose. One is not only are they weapons, they are also the ornaments of the Supreme Lord. So we see the Shankha, Chakra, etc. like this when sported by the different Archamurtis. So they also are ornaments, they are also weapons. So they serve the purpose of being ornaments. They also serve the purpose of warding off the evils that afflict the devotees of the Supreme Lord. That's what Manavana Mamli says. So they are the Divya Yudhangadam. Then Periya Viratyam Tudakkamana Nachimarhadam Nachimaravar Sri Vallabha Evam Bhuta Bhumi Nidhanayaka देवित्वा मनुनीलया सह महीदेव्यः सहस्रं तथा एन्गिरपडिये प्रधान महिषियान பெரிய பிராட்டியார் முதலான தற்சமானிகளான பூமிநீடகளும் மற்றும் அநேகராக சொல்லுகிறபடியே சொல்லப்படுகிறவர்களும் லக்ஷ்மி பிரபுத்தி மகிஷி வர்க்கங்களும் என்கிறே ஆச்சான் பிள்ளை அருளிச் செய்வது. பெரிய பிராட்டியார் தொடக்கமான நாச்சிமார்கள், the divine consorts of the Lord, beginning with the supreme goddess Lakshmi, who is known as Periya Piratiyar, or the senior most Piratiyar, consort of the Supreme Lord. So there are three, mainly three, that is Sri Devi, Bhudevi and Neela Devi. Once again, these have great significance according to Yoga Shastra and other Shastras also. Here basically we have an emotional approach towards these things and worship. So not only they cater to a person who is emotionally inclined, they cater to a person who is very much logical and a very, what I can put it as, a very logical devotee. There are two types of devotees. Some devotees are very emotional towards the Lord and they have an emotional approach. Whereas other devotees, they are very systematic in their approach. So some persons like Tirumalizhi Alvar, etc., who are very systematic, who are very profound as far as their knowledge, etc., are concerned, and that is the way they approach the Supreme Lord. From that point of view also, it is very valid. Because when we talk about Neela Devi, there is several questions are asked. Who is she? What is she? Is there any reference in the? Are there any references in the Puranas about her existence or about her role, etc.? Anangaracharya Swami has written very nicely that there is an episode about Neela Devi in the Harivamsha. So he has done some research in that regard and written about it. But my guru used to say, Na ila Neela, another consort of the Lord who is different from Bhumi Devi, or the personification of the earth. Bhudevi or Bhumi Devi is nothing but the personification of the earth. So the earth is one of the consorts of the Supreme Lord. So Na ila, she is different from ila. It actually becomes Nela, but it's if you say Nela, it doesn't look so attractive. So they have named it as Neela. And then thousands of Nachimar, thousands of other consorts. In a way, according to Shiva Vaishnava philosophy or Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, all the Jivatmas are the consort of the Lord, Supreme Lord. So you can say 1,000, you can say 10,000, you can say millions, trillions, billions, etc. Because say he is the only Purusha and all the Jivatmas are Stri Praya Vitarat Sarvam, etc. There are several passages that substantiate this fact. So they are all considered to be the Sati, or the consort of the Lord. And every Jivatma who actually wishes to become the part of the Paramatma will ultimately end up in what is known as, he should end up in Satipati Bhava, or the Naika Bhava. He surrenders himself just as a wife surrenders herself to her husband. So that is known as Naika Bhava, and we have seen the Naika Bhava, or the consort, what is the Bhava, or the emotion of being, identifying themselves as a consort in Nammalvar and Tirumangayalvar. So we call it as a heroine of the Lord. So we call Nammalvar as Parankusha Naika. And Tirumangayalvar is known as Parakala Naiki. Naika or Naika, Naiki. So ultimately that is what happens. So when they feel that they are females who are totally dedicated to the Supreme Lord Narayana, who is the Purusha, Purushottama, or Purushottamotama according to Bhagavad, Srimad Bhagavad. And the greatness of Andal is, when we talk about the greatness of Andal in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, we say other Andals had to imbibe the bhava or the emotion of being a woman in themselves. Whereas Stritva or womanhood came naturally to Andal, which was a great, great advantage. Therefore, she is, in a way, she is revered than all the other Andals. So, while commenting upon Tirupavai, our Acharyas have given a beautiful contrast. They say, Alvargalukkum, Periyalvarukkum, Parvata Paramanu Vashi. So this is to be taken from the point of view of what we call as Nahininda Nyaya. So when we have to highlight the greatness of one particular aspect, we say the other aspect is not as great. But that doesn't mean that the other aspect is bad or something like that. So when we compare Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara, or the incarnation of Rama and Krishna, and when we want to highlight Rama Avatara, we say, see, Rama had only one consort. See how faithful he was. That doesn't mean Krishna is actually a person who is having a loose character, because many people actually comment upon like that. And they say, very unfortunate and it's very atrocious. So if a person has a very bad character, he has multiple relationships or thing, and they say, oh, he is like a Krishna Avatara, leave it. It is very, very bad, because never Krishna had any illicit relationship or anything like that with any person. So it's very important. But today, that is how, even in India today, many bad things have come into vogue. Even while writing the accounts, they will say, this is Rama's accounts and this is Krishna's accounts. They say, in Kannada, they say Raman Lekka Krishnan. Rama's account means whatever has been earned and whatever has been spent as it is. Krishna's account means those accounts that are interpolated and that has to be submitted to the income tax department. So that's a fake account. That is how people actually converse in South India or in Karnataka especially. And I'm sure it is the same elsewhere in India also. So Krishna's account means that account that is cheated or interpolated. It's not correct, totally incorrect. So here, just I will mention this thing and move forward. Here when we talk about the greatness of Periyalvar, we say, all the other Alvars, including Nammalvar, said, please protect me, please protect me, please protect me, please accept me, show mercy to me, etc. So they were always, in a way, self-centered. They were worried about their own well-being. Only Periyalvar, that is why he came to be known as the big Alvar. Literally, Periya means big. Because he said, don't worry about people like us. You should be happy, you should be safe. So he said, Pallandu, Pallandu, Palla Irattandu. So he actually, it is called as Mangala Shasanagata in Sanskrit. He actually praised and blessed the Lord. Because suppose I will give an American example because people from America are more in the audience. Suppose Joe Biden comes to Keshav Dasji's house without the Secret Service agents. They say, please be careful, please be careful, please be careful. This is a very inferior example I am giving. He will not come without his Secret Service agents. They will be invisible and they will be all over. And when the American president came to India, we understand that 600 Secret Service agents had come. That's what was mentioned in the news. Because he is the most powerful man in the world or something like that. So Periyalvar imagined the Lord because he is the Lord of all the Akhilanda Kotis are millions and billions of andas, andakatahas. which include in each Andakata there are several solar systems, etc., unimaginable. When he has come, anything bad can happen to him. So the Lord said, you have to be safe. You have to be safe. Let no ill come to you. That's what he said. So, since he praised and blessed the Supreme Lord for his well-being, that is the well-being of the Supreme Lord, he was known as Periyalvar. And Andal went one step further. That is why they say Periyalvarkum Andalukkum Parvata Pramanavas. There is the difference between the small atom and a huge mountain. That is the nature of the difference between Periyalvar and Andal, because Andal was the person who actually instructed the Supreme Lord that he should not fail in his duty of protecting the Jivatmas, that is us. So he became the Guru of the Supreme Lord. That's what Swami Parashara Bhatta very beautifully says. He says, Neela Tungas Panagiri Tati Suktam Udbodhya Krishnam Pararthyam Swan Shrutishata Shiras Siddham Adhyapayam. So Krishna, he forgot his duty of protecting ordinary Jivatmas like us and was enjoying the pleasure of the company of Neela Devi. Then Andal approached him. She not only awakened him physically, even she awakened him with regard to his duties of protecting ordinary Jivatmas like us. So she went one step further than Periyalvar. Periyalvar said, you have to be safe and let nothing bad come to you. She went one step further than Periyalvar and said, because many times what happens in India, it is very natural. Sometimes the man of the house will not be prepared to say something very frankly to people with regard to some things in the house. Then the woman of the house, she will be ready. No, I will tell, I will not worry about my reputation. Even if I have to tell off somebody, I will tell it, I will not worry. She will say, see, you have done this wrong, you please correct it. She will not worry about her reputation for politeness, etc. Similarly, Andal did not worry about that. She said, I'll tell Krishna, I'll awaken him and I'll tell him that you have failed in your duty of protecting us, the Jivatmas. So you better wake up soon and start doing your work. So that is the greatness of Andal according to Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, that she awakened the Lord and she was bold enough to warn the Lord, even warn that he should not fail in his duties of protecting the Jivatmas. Anyway, so these are the consorts, including Andal, who is supposed to be the incarnation of Bhumi Devi. Or some people, they say according to Nathini Pirati, etc. There are according to the different emotional aspects. You may compare her to any Devi for that example, or as an independent Devi also. That is why in the Shiva Vaishnava temples, you have separate Andal, you have a separate iconic form. Apart from Sri Devi, Bhumi Devi, and one more Devi, who is known as the Kalyanataya. So in Srirangam also, you have 4 consorts. You have the Sri Devi and Bhudevi who are there along with Namberumal or Swami Ranganatha. Then you have one separate Tayar Samiti or shrine for Periya Piratya, that is Tayar. Then in Srirangam especially, you have 2 shrines for Andal. It's called Veli Andal Samiti and Ulla Andal Samiti. I am sure Keshavdasji is well aware of these things since he has stayed in Srirangam for several years. I am not so familiar. So you have Veli Andal Samiti and Ulla Andal Samiti, which means there is a shrine for Andal outside and inside also. So these are the Periya Piratya, Tudakkamana, Chimaran. So there are thousands in number, innumerable, countless, because all the Jivatmas are ultimately supposed to be the consorts of the Supreme Lord. Nityasurihalam. Nityasurihala were Ananta Garuda Vishwaksena Senarhala Irundulla Sankhera the Suri Janangal. So Nityasurihala means the eternal great persons. What are the differences between? No difference as such. So by a divine inspiration, they have established two shrines, one within the temple and one outside the temple. Because Pandal is so great, even if they had established 100 shrines, it wouldn't have mattered. This just to identify, they say, the Andal shrine which is within the temple and outside the temple. That's all. And even for example, in Srirangam you have two Mula Murtis are the basic icons of Periya Pirati or Sri Devi. So you have one Mula Murti inside and one Mula Murti in the middle. Of course, Baby Nachar everywhere, Tulukanachar is there. This is the Muslim consort. So why you have two? Because when the what's the greatest worst, so I would like to put it like that. Greatest worst invader called Mallikafar, who came in 1370, invaded Srirangam and killed 700 Sri Vaishnava families. At that time, they took away Namberumal, that is the Utsava Murti, and they actually dug a pit and immersed the icon of Sri Devi in that. It is just outside the current shrine. Even now there is a tree and they show the place where the icon was actually buried. Then afterwards they did not know, they actually prepared a new icon, they made a new icon and then consecrated it. Then later they came to know that already one icon is buried near the temple, front portion of the Tayar Sandhi or the shrine. So once again they excavated it and reconsecrated it. So you have two Mula Murtis in Sri Lanka. So the Muslims have created unspeakable havoc all over the world, especially in India. But it's the will of the fate or whatever it is. We don't know what to call it. So then, Nityasurigal Lavava Ananta Garuda Vishwaksena Diyada Irundulla Asankheya Suri Janangal. So countless Nityasuris like Adishesha, Garuda, Vishwaksena, etc., etc., etc. Chatra Chamara Dihal Navana Avana Kainkariyo Pakaranangala Chatra Chamara Kalavranta Bringara Patagraha Dihal. So different objects like Chatra, Chamara, etc. Chatra means the umbrella, divine umbrellas. Then Chamara is the what is known? It is actually the what is the skin of the yak. Hair. The hair of the yak. So tail fan. Then so many other things. Tala, Vranta, Bringara, etc. So there you can look up the meanings. I am not sure about the literary meaning of these three words. So the Vaikuntha Loka, there is a very beautiful description about the topography of Vaikuntha. So the topography of Vaikuntha is described in what is known as Vasudeva Mahatmya. That Vasudeva Mahatmya is part of Skanda Purana and I have translated it into English. And it is actually a wonderful, wonderful topography. It gives a wonderful topography of the Vaikuntha Loka. And it is available online in the Mandyam Digital Library with English translation. So if you are interested, you can read that. There all these things are mentioned. Chanda, Prachanda, Bhadra, Subhadra, Jaya, Vijaya, Dihal. So there are 4 main doors or main entrances. They are guarded by 2 guards, namely Chanda. So even in the Thiruvaradhanam, when you do Chanda, Ridvarapale, Namaha. And Swami Parashara Bhatta also very beautifully says, Chanda Prachanda Mukhataha Pranamami Rangadwara Vadishu Chatasvishwatikara Bhajaha. So Srirangam is also Bhu Vaikuntha, or it is the Srirangam temple itself is a miniature replica. That is the right word. Miniature replica of Vaikuntha. That is why it is known as Bhu Vaikuntha. So miniature replica of Vaikuntha, that is why you have Sapta Prakara Madhya, etc., Sapta Prakaras, etc. Very, very beautiful. From the point of Yoga Shastra, it has innumerable significances, each aspect. Why 7 Prakaras? Why not 8 or why not 6? 3 outside, 4 inside. Then 156 acres. It is spread over each and every place where the shrines are located, why they are located, how they are located, etc. All these things have great significance from the point of view of Yoga Shastra. Nobody has looked into those things. But anyway, Parashara Bhatta, Swami Parashara Bhatta in his Sri Gundata Kosha, he says, Chandra Chanda Prachanda Mukhataha Pranamami Rangadwara Vadishu Chatasrishu Adhikara Bhaja. So 4 entrances, and 4 entrances have two guards, is Chanda and Prachanda, Bhadra and Subhadra, Jaya and Vijaya. Then Chanda Prachando Pradvare. So in the east entrance is guarded by Chanda and Prachanda. The south entrance is guarded by Bhadra and Subhadra. Then the west entrance is guarded by Jaya and Vijaya. And the north entrance is guarded by Dhatri and Vidhatri. Chanda Prachanda Bhadra Subhadra Jaya Vijaya. The hell means Chanda Prachando Pradvare Yamye Bhadra Subhadra Kau Varunyam Jaya Vijayo Saumye Dhatra Vidhatra Kau. That is the shloka. I don't know from where. It might be from Vasudeva Mahatmya itself. Ganadhiparum Ganadhiparavar Kuda Kudaksha Pundarika Vamana Shankukarna Sarvanetra Sukha Supratishthita Dihal. So Ganadhipar, the Vishnu Ganadhipas, Vishnu Ganas are the groups of the worshippers of Vishnu, who also serve as his Sainyar, who also serve as the members of his divine army. So the Ganadhipas are the leaders of the groups, are Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Pundarika, Vamana, Shankukarna, Sarvanetra, Sumukha, and Supratishthita, and many more like this. So there are 8 contingents, you can call it like that in modern language, 8 principal contingents. So guarding the 8 directions, 4 main directions and 4 sub-directions, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, like that. Then these are the Ganadhipas. Then Muktaravar, Karai Kandor, Yengirapadiye, Samsara Sagarattai Kadandu, Kadandakkaraikke, Akkarikke, Patti Nitya Suriyalodu Samanakararai, இகிலக இங்கரியர் நிரதராயிருக்கும் அசங்கேயரான சேதனர்கள். After the Ganadhipas, we have the Muktas. Muktas means those who have earlier been part of the samsara, that is, they were bonded souls. By the grace of God, they have become Muktas, or they have become liberated souls. So they have, by the grace of God, they have crossed the ocean of samsara, ocean of this material world, and they are having forms that are similar to the Nitya Suris like Ananta Garuda Vishwasena. They can take any form they want to serve the Lord, and also according to Sri Bhasham, they may remain formless also. That is another very important thing, but not mentioned explicitly in the Sampradaya works because it is very difficult to understand. So they can remain formless also, according to Sri Bhasham. So Samana Nitya Suriyalodu Samana Kararai Nikhila Kainkariya Niratarairikum Asankheyarana Chetanar. In Paramakashamavade, Paramakasha means the Paramapada itself, which means Anchopanishanmayamana Paramapadam. For the Vaikuntha Loka itself is also known as Mara. That means it belongs to the Supreme Lord. He is the Lord of Vaikuntha. That is why he is known as Vaikunthanatha, Janayetu Jagatam, Sharma Vaikunthanatha. But it is also to be noted by that the Lord's name also is Vaikuntha. The place where he resides also is Vaikuntha. So Panchopanishanmayamana Paramapadam Vididan Panchopanishanmayamahayane Samuhatmakamaire Irupade. Panchopanishanmayam means it is not physical, it is metaphysical. You please understand what it means. That means Panchopanishanmayam means it's not having perishable objects like bricks, mortar, etc. that we have in this world. It is all divine. Divine, divine, divine. That's all, nothing more than that we can say. Aheyal Samuha Gananikti Virodhamillai. So it is how much innumerable. So when the Vaikuntha Loka is explained after having the divine experience of Vaikuntha Loka by Ramanujacharya, he says, Divya Varana Shata Sahasravrte Divya Kalpakata Rupa Shobhite Divyodhyana Shata Sahasra Koti Bhiravrte. How many Divyodhyanas, how many divine gardens are there? Shata Sahasra Koti. 100,000 billions. So what does it mean? It is endless. So there is no end at all. Even this world itself, according to us, has no end. But all these physical entities, including the solar system, etc., 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 forms only 1/4 of the vibhuti or the belonging of the Supreme Lord. So that's why it says Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. And Vaikuntha is known as Tripadvibhuti, or the 3/4 is Vaikuntha, and the entire, whatever you call, whether you call all these billions of Andakatahas, which is unimaginable, that itself is only 1/4. So Vaikuntha is 3 times all these things. Therefore, Panchopanishanmayamahayane Paramapadamam Samuhatmakataya Irikkum Indire Achan Pille Rulichayidate. So it's a conglomeration or colony of several divine lokas. That's why I said it's not physical, it is metaphysical. So finally he summarizes. Aha Jnanananda Amadatwarihanam Ninna Todangi Vaivadavam Swarupa Nirupaka Dharmangalayam Nirupita Swarupa Visheshangalana Kalyana Gunangalayam Aggunangalathu Prakashakamana Divyamangala Vikrahatyam Vikraha Gunamana Saundaryatishayathangalayam Saundaryarihadayam Manda Saundaryarihadopadi Putta Podeshathana Divyabaranangalayam அவ்வாபரணங்களோடு விகல்பிக்கலாம்படியான திவ்யாயுதங்களையும் இத்தனையும் காட்டிலேரித்த நிலாவாகாதபடி காட்டிலேரித்த நிலாவாகாதபடி அருகே இருந்தனுபவிக்கிற நாத்திமாரையும் அத்தியத்திலே அடிமை செய்கிற நித்திய சூரியகளையும் அவர்களுக்கு கைங்கரியோபகரணங்களான சத்திரகாமராதிகளையும் இச்சேர்த்திக்கின் வருகிறதோவென்னு வயறிந்து நோக்கும் திருவாசல் காக்கும் முதலிகளும் இப்படி மங்களாசாசன பரராய் திருப்படை வீட்டுக்குடைய காவலாயிருக்கும் கணாதிபரையும் நிவிர்த்த சம்சாரராய் அவர்களோடு ஒரு கோவையாய் அடிமை செய்கிற முக்தரையும் அவ்வடிமைக்கு வர்த்தகமான பரமபதத்தையும் மறுடி செய்தாராய்த்து. So in the portion of the commentary that I just read, Swami Manawala Mamuni relates each of these to one another. So he says this divya irangal, the divine weapons, divine ornaments, then the consorts, then these things, etc. Are they mutually independent objects just as given just as a list, or are they related to each other? They are definitely related to each other. So it's not just a haphazard list. On the other hand, it is a very systematic list which is composed in a logical sequence. That is what it means. So he says, he actually relates them very quickly. I will mention. So aha ஞானானந்தாமலத்வாரிகளும் என்ன தொடங்கி இவ்வளவும் ஸ்வரூப நிரூபக தர்மங்களையும். First he actually mentioned the swarupa nirupaka dharmas are the unique attributes that define the Supreme Lord, like jnana, ananda, amaratva, etc. After that he told the nirupita swarupa visheshangal, that is the other common aspects that the Supreme Lord possesses, like the kalyana gunas which he shares with several other people, like muktatmas, etc. அக்குணங்களுக்கு பிரகாசகமான திவ்யமங்கள விக்கிரகத்தையும். Then he talked about the divine iconic form of the divyamangala vigraha of the Supreme Lord, which is the form that in which all the qualities are manifest. So that is why he mentioned the divyamangala vigraha after the qualities, the common qualities. So first he mentioned the unique qualities, then he mentioned the common qualities, then he mentioned the divyamangala vigraha, which is the manifestation or through which all the divine qualities manifest in the Supreme Lord. Then அக்குணங்களுக்கு ஆசிரியமான திவ்யமங்கள விக்கிரகத்தையும், then விக்கிரக குணமான சௌந்தர்யாதிகளையும். Then he mentioned about the wonderful beauty of the divine icon of the Supreme Lord. Then as a manifestation of the divine beauty, the divyabharanangalayum. So many a times there is a very beautiful concept that is there in the Indian literary field. So many a times what happens, you wear some ornament, either to the ear or the nose or to the neck. You may wear a necklace. So why is that ornament worn by a person? Because it enhances, the ornament is supposed to enhance the beauty of the original limb on which it is worn. So when you wear a earring, it will enhance the beauty of the ear. When you wear an ornament that ladies wear to enhance the beauty of the nose. They wear an ornament here, they wear an ornament here, etc. Nose studs. Then you have necklaces. The necklace is supposed to enhance the beauty of the neck. Like this, there are several ornaments that are supposed to enhance the beauty of the limb which they adore. But in some cases, in figuratively, it is mentioned that when a very most wonderful person wears a necklace, then it is not the necklace that is enhancing the beauty of the neck of the person, but it is rather the other way around, that the necklace, we say, though the necklace is an insentient entity, we say the beauty of the necklace was enhanced by the person wearing it. So that's what we say. I don't know whether such an expression exists in the Western literary world. But when a very unique person wears an ornament, we say that the ornament is very lucky that it is being worn by such a person. Though it's an insentient entity, we say like that. So many a times when an award is given to a person who is very, very deserving or most deserving, we say that this award got respected by such a person accepting it. So that is what we say in the Indian context. So suppose, I don't know which is the highest civilian award in America. So in India, we call it as Bharat Ratna, the jewel of India. So when a very, very deserving person is given the award, we say, it is not that this person has become respectable because of the award. Since he has accepted the award, the award, the glory of the award has been enhanced. That's what it is. So Vigraha Gunanga Saundarya Rihadopari Putta Pole, as if the beauty of the Lord itself has manifested into the form of these divine ornaments. Avvabaranangalod Vikalpikalam Padiyana Divyayudangalayum. Then he talked, after mentioning the divine ornaments, he talks about the divine weapons. So the divine ornaments themselves have become divine weapons. Because the weapons are not only means to ward off the evils of his devotees, they also serve as great ornaments, as I mentioned earlier. இவை இத்தனையும் காட்டிலே ஏறித்து நிலாவானபடி அருகே இருந்து அனுபவிக்கிற நாச்சிமார்களும். So suppose, very beautiful, see how beautifully he actually relates the relationship between the divine weapons and divine ornaments and the consorts of the Lord. Suppose I have a very beautiful necklace which is costing several millions of rupees. Suppose nobody is there in the house, or I go to a function where nobody is there. Then what is the use of wearing that ornament? So many times we see ladies wearing these ornaments when they attend functions, wedding functions and other things. Only when several people who are there to enjoy the beauty of the ornament, the wearing of the ornament becomes meaningful. If nobody is there to enjoy, and many times ladies feel that their ego is hurt when nobody says, oh, how beautiful this ornament is. So they feel very happy when they say, oh, the necklace is so beautiful. Or who gave it to you, or how did you get it? So only when it is recognized, they feel a sense of fulfillment. So here also, what is the use of the Lord wearing such divine and beautiful ornaments if his consorts were not there to enjoy their beauty and appreciate them? So he says, why the consorts are mentioned after mentioning the ornaments? He says, it has been mentioned because they are the persons who enjoy the beauty of the ornaments of the Lord and appreciate them. இவை இத்தனையும் காட்டில் ஏறித்து நிலாவாதபடி இருக்க அருகே இருந்து அனுபவிக்கிற நாச்சிமார்களும். So they are so close to him that they actually virtually enjoy every aspect of all the beautiful ornaments of the Supreme Lord. Then is it enough for the Lord to be with his consorts? No. He wants to enjoy the presence of his devotees also, who are like his sons. So suppose there is a big family of 10 people. The mother and father want to enjoy themselves, or will they want all their children to be together with them? They will want all their children to be with them. So that is why, along with the Natyars or the consorts, all the Nitya Suris who are like the children of the Lord, they also are in presence. And how will the Nitya Suris enjoy the Lord if they don't have any implements to please the Lord? So these implements like Chatra, Chamara, etc. are there for the Nitya Suris to please the Lord. So they have been mentioned after that. And then is this enough? No. வைரே இருந்த நோக்கும் திருவாசல் காக்கும் முதலிகளும். This entire assembly of the Supreme Lord is so great, so wonderful, that there has to be somebody who will take care of the security of this. Suppose I go to the open market and take along with me a ruby or emerald which is worth several million or billions of dollars. What will happen? Somebody may snatch it from me. So I have to have adequate security. So this assembly of the Supreme Lord is so great, so wonderful, so unique, so fabulous, that there has to be somebody who will actually take care of the security of these people. So they are always worried. Oh, if some demon or somebody, it cannot happen. But they are so concerned that they are always worried about the security. So there are the guards who guard the entrances of the Vaikuntha. Appadi Mangalasasana Pararai Tiruppadai Veettikudaiya Kavalai Irukkum Ganadhiparayum. So these persons are in turn protected by the Ganadhipas or the leaders of the group or the group leaders. And then Nivritta Samsararai Avarhalod Oru Kovayai Adimishayiram Muktarayum. Then to serve all these people, including the Ganadhipas. So he said Britya Paritaraka Britya, etc. So to serve all the servants of the Lord, there are enough number of Muktatmas or liberated souls. And then Avvadimektivardhakamana Paramapadatyam. And for all this, there has to be a location, which is the Vaikuntha, which is metaphysical in nature. So all these are mentioned by the word Nara. So these are the aspects that are existing in the Leela Vibhuti or the divine Vibhuti, divine possession of the Lord. Leela Vibhuti Lullavattai Arulichaihirar Main Nitya Vibhuti. And next comes the Leela Vibhuti, which says Prakritiyam Paramaya, etc., which we'll have in the next session. So see how beautifully Swami Manavada Mamani relates each and every aspect that was mentioned in this book. So it's not an unrelated haphazard list, but well-connected, systematic list of things that are mentioned. Even while mentioning the list, there is an order. It's not a unconnected or disconnected list. So that's what it is. Any questions?
So Swami, you were speaking about all the different weapons of the Lord, and he has different weapons. And the Sudarshana is the main weapon, which is always talked about, and many times there are even temples of Sudarshana, which is a main aspect of a Sri Vaishnava temple in India. There's always a shrine for Sudarshana, but we don't see so many. There's no shrines for the other weapons, and Sudarshana is also related to Lord Narasimha in some way. When we go around the back side of Sudarshana, we see this Narasimha. So why is it specifically that Narasimha is related to Sudarshana, and why Sudarshana is so important and the other weapons are not so emphasized?
One very important, very unique relationship is, so Narasimha is supposed to be a Samhara Murti. So of course, all the forms of the Supreme Lord are aimed at Dushta Shikshana and Shishta Rakshana. That is, destroying the evil forces and protecting the good forces. But Narasimha, though he protected Prahlada and also the world, he mainly incarnated to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. And Sudarshana is also the main Samhara, the means of the Lord eliminating his adversaries. So Sudarshana and Narasimha are supposed to be two faces of the same coin. That is why in front you have Sudarshana, or you can have in front you have Narasimha and in the back you have Sudarshana. And also there is one of the Vaishnava Agamas, there is specific mention of Sudarshana Narasimha only. That is why which is supposed to be an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So they call it as Sudarshana Narasimha Jayanti only. So the Agama specifically mention, I don't remember which work, which Samhita in which Agama, but there are specific Samhitas or specific chapters in the Samhita which talk about such a form as having Sudarshana on one side and Narasimha on the other side, in the same icon. And in Tamil Nadu, there are innumerable kshetras which are like that. So you can say that for the Supreme Lord to do away with his adversaries. So that is why when even Narasimha, he is called as Ugra Narasimha. So he was so angry that even after he killed Hiranyakashipu, his anger did not subside. And when it is written specifically in the Nrsimha Purana, and so all the demigods, they asked Lakshmi to go and pacify Narasimha. But even Lakshmi said, I have not seen such an angry form of my Lord, that even I am afraid to go. Then it is said that they sent Prahlada. And as soon as Lord Narasimha saw Prahlada, his anger subsided. And immediately his persona of being compassion incarnate, or a personification of compassion, that aspect manifested. And then all the devas or all the demigods, including goddess Lakshmi, went there and then they propitiated him and they did a stotra for us. That is what is mentioned in the Nrsimha Purana. If you see the Nrsimha Sahasranama, the later portion of the Nrsimha Sahasranama, it is mentioned specifically like this. And this Nrsimha Avatara has a very deep significance, not only from the point of view of Hiranyakashipu, it also has a very deep significance from the point of view of the evolution. That is why in the beginning it says, Simhasyang Sambhutai Naradamaya Dandayitramabhudugram Divyam Varsha Sahasrakam. So there were thousands of Narasimhas and thousands of Hiranyakashipus, among whom there was a war or a battle that lasted for 1,000 years. So this is associated. So Narasimha has to be seen in two contexts. One is the Vyashti and Samashti. That's what my guru used to say. But these things are very deep matters, and people are not. I'm not mentioning about any particular person, but to know the tattva, it's a very deep thing. And today we are not. We don't have the necessary competence to understand these things. So it's a very deep topic. That much I can say.
So the Sudarshana is Ishvara Koti or Jiva Koti? Sudarshana is Ishvara or he is Jiva? Is he the servant of the Lord or is the Lord himself?
He is a Nityasuri. He is a Nityasuri. He is a Nityasuri who is equated with the Lord, because you have Sudarshana in the Sudarshana chakra in the hand of Sudarshana. How is it possible? That means he has a similar chakra. So that is why we say the Sarupya, Salokya and Sarupya is there. So Sudarshana is definitely not an Ishvara, but he is a implement in the hand of the Supreme Lord.
So he has the Shakti of Narasimha. We can say he's the Shakti Avesha of Narasimha.
And also we say he sports the Pinaka. Many times Narasimha is equated with Shiva. Shiva is equated with Narasimha, and we know that Pinaka is the unique Ayudha weapon of Shiva. But even Narasimha sports the Pinaka. Triyaksham Chakra Pinaka Sabhayavaran Vibrana Varkachavi. That is what is mentioned in the Dhyana Shloka of Narasimha. So the Pinaka is actually Pinako Adagavam Danu, the bow that is in the hand of Shiva. But we say even Narasimha possesses that. That means there are some resemblances in all Samhara Murtis. Samhara Murtis who are there for destruction. Destruction is also one of the important aspects that are associated with the Supreme Lord. We say he ultimately he is the creator, he is the protector, and also he is the destructor. Through the form of Shiva, he destructs. That's what Bhagavatam says. Srishti Sthityantakaranim Brahma Vishnu Shivatmikam Sasamjnam Yati Bhagavan Eka Eva Janardana. So he takes the form of Shiva to destruct. And destruction also has to happen. Because if destruction doesn't happen, then there is no meaning for creation. So why he creates, why he sustains, why he destructs, nobody knows. We are unable to know the Srishti Rahasya. Only Muktatmas will know, but they will not even have that doubt when they have the vision of the Supreme Lord or when they reach the Supreme Lord. So the question remains unanswered eternally. So you have certain common characters. Even Narasimha, which says Triyaksham, he has three eyes, just like Lord Shiva. And he sports the Pinaka. So these are all the symbols of a Samhara Murti or a destructor. But destructor means destructor or destroyer not for bad, for good. So sometimes something has to be destroyed, otherwise it will wreak havoc. So you have to destroy it. Even in our own body, several cells are destroyed every day. Because if those bad cells, we call them so the antibodies or the good cells have to destroy the bad cells. If the bad cells are not destroyed, it becomes cancer. That's what it is. So even in our own human body, every day, Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya are happening. That is why we call it as Vyashti and Samashti. At the micro level also it's happening, it happens. Macro level it happens. Macro level it happens. We are unable to fathom all these things. But these things are not mentioned in the Sampradaya works or Sampradaya by Sampradaya scholars for various reasons, which we will not discuss now. But that is how it is. Generally, they don't talk about these things at all. They will just explain the panktis or the text, and then they will leave it at that. But only those who are in awe of things, they can venture to go deeper into the text or deeper into the tattva aspect and think about them and explain about them, etc. Thank you very much. Any other question? I don't think there are any questions. Nache Brahman Jetyesha Chatura Chaturakshari Kamastham Prapadyante Jantavo Antamadrisha Punyam Bhoja Vikasaya Papadvanta Kshayaya Cha Shrimana Virabhut Bhumau Ramamija Divakaraha Krita Virinchari Nirankushay Bhutayaha Ramam Japadam Bhoja Samashena Shalinaha